Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Oh, man. I might have overdone it. A little extra bliss today. I thought I might need it. Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're delighted you're here, and we're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. If you'd like to call in and chat with us, we'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Trevor's engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. Captain John Regan's with us. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Welcome back to the show, Vincent.
Hey, John. Thanks for holding down the fort on Friday. I really appreciate that. I was on my way to Indianapolis, where I attended a preparedness show. It was called the RK Prepper Show, and RK has a huge gun show presence, and I was invited to attend and speak, and I got a chance to make a whole bunch of new friends. It was really a lot of fun. We talked about, Dr. Richard Allen Miller was there, and Matt Stein, and Joey was there from Michigan. Aaron and Brad Dakins were there. Storm and Norman Cantwell, Dr. Patrick Vickers. So it was kind of like Craig Douglas was there, kind of like a mini family reunion. It was kind of nice. It was really nice, as a matter of fact. And I got to see a lot of things that were kind of upsetting to me. And let me share with you what they are. So on the way out, I saw a lot of billboards, and they're painted white. And that tells me that advertising sales are down. You know, when you see these billboards that don't have advertisements on them, that's a sign of an economy in serious decline. And it wasn't just in Missouri. It was Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. And then I saw, as I drove through the states, I saw the roads in disrepair more than I've ever seen. I saw the bridges in disrepair. I saw some improvements, but overall, the decline is greater than the repairs. And I saw wasted money. I saw the cheese graters, to prevent you from going across the median should you have an emergency. We spent money on stupid stuff like that instead of, really fixing the roads, really repairing the roads, really filling in those potholes, in a more permanent way. We spent money on cheese graters. And, as a person who is very careful with his money, it aggravates me that we have people making decisions about how to spend our money foolishly. It just makes me crazy. So we got to get them out of the way. We've got to never reelect anybody. If someone's been in any kind of office, don't elect them for another office. If someone's running for re-election, never vote for a person who's running for re-election. I don't care what they are. So a governor who wants to be president, forget it. A senator who wants to be president, forget it. And, you listen to Hillary Clinton, the CEOs are making a lot of money compared, 200-300 times more than the average worker in a company. So does she. She makes money like that too. So she's one of them. She's on the other team. So I was kind of bummed out at what I saw across the country as I drove. It's going to be hard to fix it. So what does that mean? You know, here at USA Prepares, we say, here's what the problem is and here's what we do. Anyone who is not preparing for a financial collapse, an electromagnetic storm, a CME, a trucker strike, a supply chain outage, just to name a few. If you're not preparing for massive problems, social unrest, you're not paying attention. The signs are right here in front of us. And they're truly upsetting to me. Had somebody tell me, man, oh man, Lebanon, Missouri, it's really kind of beat up, it's kind of junky. Well, I'll tell you what. I looked at Lebanon, Missouri, and as I went east to Indiana, it got worse. It got worse. The roads and bridges got worse. The infrastructure got worse. The businesses who were out of business got worse. Someone will have to call me and tell me if they think I'm wrong. I'd love to hear that I'm wrong. I'll give you that number. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. We'll pay for the call. If you think I'm wrong, I'd love to hear about it. Captain John Regan, what's happening with you?
That reminds me of some of the trips I've made in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be we'd drive from Beaumont to Kansas City on Highway 69, and a lot of those small towns that I've been through in the past few years in Texas and in Oklahoma, in essence, aren't really there anymore. It's been kind of sad to see. Lebanon is actually in good shape compared to some of those places. And it was early in 2011 that Becky and I got a chance to go to St. Louis. She had not been there. And I didn't make it over to Scott Air Force Base, but we did make it across the river, just to say that we did. And that area in Illinois, just east of St. Louis, while it wasn't exactly great back in the days I was there, which was 79 through 82, it was just horrible 4 years ago. And I imagine it hasn't gotten any better since.
John Regan, that's exactly what I'm saying. You look at the chunks of concrete that are falling off bridges. You look at the rust on the bridges. It's easy to paint. It's really hard to sandblast the rust off and then prime it and then paint. That ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, a stitch in time saves 9, all that. It's absolutely true. But we've been asleep. We've allowed these thugs to mismanage our infrastructure. Now, it's our infrastructure. It's not theirs. It's ours. And yet, at the same time, I saw a whole bunch of people attending a ball kind of event. Like, I think it was soccer. And all these, young people and their parents, and they showed up in Indianapolis, and they were going to this competition kind of a thing. And it was really important to them. It has to do with things like points, scores and points and things that, mental concepts. Like who's better based on points. And at the same time, the cities are crumbling around us. And these parents are taking their children to ball games. I don't know how much money it costs to go from wherever they came from to go to Indianapolis. But whatever it is, to keep track of points, to me, is insanity. I saw a man at the motel, John, and the way I can describe him is he looks like Mr. T. He had this great big chain on, this gold-looking chain. I don't know if it was gold, but if it were gold and it had a cross on it, I would say the cross was 3 inches tall, hanging out of his shirt I mean, this is a huge cross. It had to be in the way. I mean, I wouldn't be able to be a farmer and have this cross. I mean, even if I wanted to, even if I thought it was that important, I still wouldn't be able to wear it because it would be dangerous to hang that thing around my neck. And it's a sign that says, come grab me and steal me. Now, it looked like it was maybe gold washed, gold filled. But if it were real gold, it would probably weigh 5 ounces. I don't know anybody who would wear something 5 ounces around his neck. Like that. And that kind of a display tells me that that person is more concerned about image than about survival and preparedness. I'm talking about untied sneakers. You know, I tie my sneakers because I may have to run. Okay. I don't want to trip over them. I don't care whether it's a status symbol to have untied sneakers or not. Mine are tied. My boots are tied. They're laced up. My belt is tight. My gun's got a round in the chamber. Why? That's another interesting story, John. I was at this prepper show, and I was talking to a guy, and he was telling me about body armor. And I said, I had my sport coat on, my dark blue jeans, my black polished combat boots, and my white long sleeve shirt, no tie. And I said, he was telling me how important body armor is. And I said, oh, do you have any on now? He said, no, I don't need it now. There's no guns in here. He said guns aren't allowed in here. So I just pulled back my coat a little bit. He said, they're not allowed in here. I said, says who? And the reason I said says who is because I read the rules and regulations for gun reciprocity, concealed weapons reciprocity between Indiana and Missouri. And I can do whatever I can do in Missouri in Indiana. Okay. So I thought that was kind of funny. And he said, you got a round in the chamber? I said, what good is it without one? So, you know, he kind of smiled. Said, I guess you got a point. So anyway, I suggest we step up preparations. Captain John Regan's with us. I'm Vin Finelli. Meet up tonight. I'll tell you about it in a minute. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Friends, this is Alex Jones for MidasResources.com. For more than 15 years, exclusively use Midas Resources for all my precious metal needs. Whether it's bullion or collectibles you're looking for, Midas Resources is simply the best. I own my gold as a hedge against inflation. This Federal Reserve fiat currency could go the way of the Deutschmark and the Weimar Republic anytime. In these historically dangerous times, it makes sense to physically hold gold and silver. Midas already has some of the best deals in the industry. But if you give them a call and mention the radio special, they will give you a list of the day's super specials. Midas brokers are standing by to answer all your questions at 800-686-2237. They also have a lot of informative free literature explaining the opportunities and risk of holding precious metals. They are ready to answer your questions at 800-686-2237. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
John Regan's with us, and class, there's a meetup tonight at Jimmy's Egg. Jimmy's Egg, absolutely free. If you'd like to have dinner with us, you certainly may. That's in Battlefield Road in Springfield, Missouri. We start at 4:45, continue on through 8 o'clock. And tonight's topics are pretty interesting. It's the continuation of dealing with the blue plague. And men in black dresses. So dealing with the blue plague and dealing with men in black dresses. Mike Wasson's going to be leading that discussion. And inside the police department, John Gore is going to be telling us about what it's like and how he was asked to do some unethical things in the police department. And what we're finding out is the things that we're saying here at usapreparedness.com about the blue plague, they're absolutely true. That's tonight at the meetup at Jimmy's Egg. John Regan, where do you want to start?
Well, you've been talking a lot in the last month about starting your own business. Well, I've got a link saying, we're in the wrong business. What we need to do is open a YouTube channel, dress up as cute young girls, and teach cooking. There's an 8-year-old out of Australia that they estimate last month made $127,000. That's U.S. dollars. And that's after YouTube fees, just in advertising for, teaching baking.
Yeah, and I see her, and she's got some red dye and green dye and blue dye and orange dye and kind of a plum-colored dye, and she's teaching baking. I would support, endorse, and be interested if she knew what she were doing. I mean, really, all these colors, come on. And John. Here's what I've learned. Over the weekend, I've learned that if it's superfluous, if it's meaningless, people are interested in it. I saw people with their faces painted. And that's cool, right? Hey, you can have your face painted. How important is that? How does that compare with, learning how to build an AR-15, or learning about the climate change, or learning how to store foods for a long term? How does that compare? Okay. It's clear to me that people are interested in not thinking. So it's amazing to me. 57 million views in less than a year. And this 8-year-old is teaching. She doesn't need to go to school anymore. She's done, right? She's got everything she needs. $127,000 a month. Wow.
Yeah,
Right,
our best year, we didn't do that for the entire year.
Well, yeah. And, I was thinking about the future of expos. Guy came to me. I was talking to a guy, and he was saying to me that traffic was really, really down at this one event I was at, and really down. And he said, this guy came up to me and said, "Hey, boy, this the biggest NPS expo that they've ever had is almost as big as this." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, those are the ones I've gone to." Because now this guy, the NPS Expo guy, says that, he's got 8,000 attendees. He's got all these seminars. He's got all these exhibitors. And this guy was telling me that the biggest one that he went to was almost as big as this one that didn't have a lot of people. I'm not saying which specific event I was at, but what I am saying is I thought the attendance at that time was very, very, very low. And this guy was telling me that the NPS Expo on the East Coast, was almost as big as that. So what I'm saying, class, is you need to figure out before you go if it's worth your travel time, travel expense, meals, hotel, motel, that kind of thing. And you're probably going to find out that most of these expos are long on promises and short on delivery. You're going to find that out. I'm specifically talking about the NPS Expo, which I've heard over and over is a disappointment from everyone who talks about it. John Regan, I'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy. Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill, and I had high blood pressure, high blood sugar, poor vision, and I really wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess, pretty much.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract, and from within a few days, I started sleeping a lot better. My blood pressure normalized, my blood sugar normalized, and my sleep really did improve.
Experience these benefits and more when your body gets what it needs with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
And folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates, 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Captain John Reagan's with us, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. I'm at the news tab, John Reagan. Where should we go next?
Let's take up It's a Matter of National Security at the top of the next hour and skip on down to financial and get all that great news. I've got 3 articles today. The Reset, Just Fine, and Oil Update. So the first one talks about home equity lines of credit known as HELOCs. And it's saying that some of those equity loans are getting ready to reset and are about to double or triple. You know, just at a time when our economy is just, well, they're saying roaring along. I'd say sputtering out. So that's going to be helpful.
Right.
Just Fine is talking about the average fine for not being in compliance with Obamacare is $1,130 this year. Of course, that's going up considerably next year. And I think this one is going to have a larger impact on Q2 than most people are expecting, because usually people get refunds and spend that money, you know, late first quarter, early second quarter. And if you have a number of people being hit with $1,100 fines, that's going to be a lot of money they can't spend on other things. And just so you know, there's something else I'm looking for. It's on my radar scope. You know, some of the water cooler talk at Becky's office is about how there were more people this year that had problems electronically filing their return because their Social Security number had already been used. So I'm wanting to find out what kind of increase that is nationwide. And the third one we've talked about. So this is an oil update. They are actually cutting down olive trees in Italy because of the bacteria there. And I was looking at the pictures in that article, and I had toured vineyards in Europe when I was there, and was kind of surprised how big, the grapevines were. I'd never seen olive trees,
Right.
and these were just huge. I mean, I would have expected something, maybe half to a third of that size. But I'm looking at these. You can't, two people probably couldn't touch arms, touch tips of their fingers with arms outstretched around these. That's a huge jump.
I'm looking at them as well, John. And I was thinking that if you and I and two other guys all touched fingers outstretched as far as we could maybe the four of us could get our arms around one tree. Absolutely huge. I mean, really, really huge. And they are cutting. How old are they? 500 years old, John?
And, when you lose trees, even younger trees, whether they're fruit or nut, you just don't get those back in a few years. It's usually a minimum of 7 years before they start producing anything. This is a long-term problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And do we know what caused this?
It's a bacteria, and they're trying to stop the spread of the disease. Spain has outlawed the olive fruit from being imported to try and keep it out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about the lowest price I've found for olive oil currently is between 19 and 21 cents an ounce. That's for the extra virgin olive oil. And it's hard to find it for less than that. So we have our supply, but it doesn't stay viable, for very long, a couple of years maybe, if you keep it tightly sealed and at a stable temperature. But this is the problem. As you know, John, something that I learned at the RK Prepper Show, this water cooler talk that you're talking about, that there is a freeze-dried food company, and it will remain nameless, but it's viable and it's very, very well known. This particular freeze-dried food company is saying that they're having trouble getting the raw ingredients to make their freeze-dried food because of the drought in California. We talked about the supply chain problems. So we think that, listen, if things get bad, we'll just buy some freeze-dried food, right? Well, they are now having problems getting the ingredients to make the food that they put in these long-term storage containers, cans, buckets, pouches. Who would have thought, right? That's the problem. We're not thinking about how things could go south. And that's just one item, but we all have to eat. John, I said something interesting at my seminar. I said, I buy just about everything used, except for a few things. I don't buy used. I don't buy used food. I don't buy used oil filters. And I don't buy used engine oil. Other than that, I buy a lot of things used. And I think one of the things that we should do to stop feeding the beast, John, is to buy more things used. For example, I was talking to one of our instructors, and he was looking at my sport coat, and he said, I need to buy one. I need to buy a sport coat for when I go to meetings. And I said, okay. And he was telling me that, get one for a couple $100. And I said, you know what? I think you can get one at Goodwill, or one of those type of resale places for $10. And next time I saw him, he had a sports coat on. And I think he spent $8 for it. And it looked great. It fit him and everything. So what I'm saying is, isn't it a great idea to not pay full price? And even better than that, not pay tax. Buy something that someone's already paid the tax on. Buy it used, and let's starve the beast. Let's starve these buzzards. What do you think?
It's definitely a good part of strategy. Whether it's a resale store, pawn shops, there's a number of things that you can go out and get used. It's just as good as the new thing. We've talked about things like knives and axes and hand tools. There's some pawn shops that deal in those, and you can get fantastic bargains on those.
And, there are some items that you can't buy new that are as good as the used items, or the items of yesteryear. And one of the things I'm talking about is like, let's say you want a toaster oven. If you buy a toaster oven today, it's going to be, unless you get a commercial one, it's going to be Chinese. And it's going to be a disposable item. Now, if you get one that was built in the 70s or 80s, you might find like Farberware or something like that. You can get one that will work really, really well and probably last the rest of your life. And it won't be in the dump, next year. And you can probably repair it. Okay, John, I'm at the financialstateoftheunion.com at the news tab. What's next?
Well, let's slide down to the employment or lack thereof section.
Mm-hmm.
And before Victoria's Secret, there was Fredericks of Hollywood.
Yes, it was.
Used to have shops in the mall, place where you could go in to buy lingerie. And they have now closed all of their stores and you're going web only. And this article says there were 94 locations. I read another article said there's 111, so it was probably somewhere between those numbers. They didn't say how many employees they had to let go with those closings. But, obviously, when you have in the neighborhood of 100 stores, that's in locations that are open 7 days a week, you have a number of employees manning that store.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a hit.
John, you don't know this, and I've never mentioned it, but I went to school. I went to the university with the daughter of the founder of Fredericks of Hollywood. And this was back in the early 1970s. So she and I went to the university together, and she drove a Firebird, a Pontiac Firebird. And they did not look like they were hurting back then. And now it looks like they might be hurting, right?
Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got round two. Schlumberger has announced an additional 11,000 positions being cut. That was on top of the 9,000 they announced earlier, so 20,000 this year. And they're just one of the big players in the oil patch. And it looks like this probably isn't going to be the last round of layoffs either.
John, you said this was coming months ago. You called it absolutely right. You said, there are going to be companies in the oil business that are going to go under. And you talked about the big downturn. Speaking of oil, John, over the weekend, or just before I left for Indianapolis, I was on our tractor, and it's a John Deere tractor, 3 steps up to the cab. The back tires are, taller than I am. And it was connected to a batwing mower. And a batwing mower is 15 feet wide. And I was mowing one of the fields and, driving through the saplings and, just mowing them down because the saplings were starting to take over and thorn bushes and things in the field. And I hit this little bump that I didn't see, just a little dip. And when the batwing mower came down, it's like 4,000 or 5,000 pounds, came down, put pressure on this hydraulic hose, and burst the hose in the tractor. Hose is 2 feet long, tractor filled with oil mist. And I got out of there really quickly, held my breath, got out. That replacement hose, 2 feet long, is $100. I was shocked. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to. if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
If you constantly feel run down and tired, your pH level might be low and your body could be full of toxins. If what you drink is not at a pH level of 8 or higher, you are inviting bacteria and acid to thrive in your body. But there is something you can do. Simply add 10 drops of AlkaVision plasma pH drops to your water to help your body rid itself of acidic waste, increase oxygen, and raise your pH balance to optimum levels. AlkaVision plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals in the world, alkalizing the water you drink, ridding your body of acidic waste and toxins, and helping you regain energy and vibrant health. And studies show viruses, bacteria, and toxins cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision plasma pH drops at alkavision.com. That's ALKA vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take longevity beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins. But did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer Bidbit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Captain John Regan is with us. John, let me paraphrase an email that I just opened. And it starts out and it says it's about today's show from one of our loyal class members. Wow, John did a bang-up job today. Had some interesting guests. Great show today. John's manner of speaking is fluid. I really like him. Of course, I like brilliant men. And all you guys are pretty darn smart. Boy, do we have her hoodwinked, right? She's a wonderful person. Her name is first letter is C in her first name. Anyway, she said, have fun at the expo. It sounds like a really good one. And it was. And she says, and are there more in the future? And where will you and others be speaking? Well, that's the plan. The plan is that the faculty of USA Prepares will be speaking at other expos. And what we'll do is let you know in advance where we're going to be, what we're going to be speaking about. So we have some faculty who'll be traveling around and speaking at other events, helping to get the word out. So that is the plan. And I've already talked with the team at the RK shows, and they're very interested in what we have to say, who we are, and getting the word out. So we'll let you know as that progresses. So it looks like you'll be seeing more of us at other events in addition to the ones that we do. So, oh, by the way, John, right now you're number one on GCN. Congratulations.
And the rest of the story?
Well, the only place to go from there is down. Okay, so hey, are we going to do what are we going to do now?
Last one under employment. It's called Warning.
Yeah.
And this is linked to a Wikipedia article on the WARN Act. And I included this because those that are paying attention to Jade Helm, there's 5 Walmarts in Jade Helm states that suddenly closed, and the reason given was plumbing problems. And they're going to have these stores closed for 6 months to fix it. Now, to a lot of us, that story smells kind of like stopped up plumbing anyway. But, I did a little bit of research to see, because normally when you have a mass layoff like that, you have to give 60 days warning. And there's certain exceptions. And one of those is for when that layoff is 6 months or less. So that's how they managed to get around not letting the people know that they were going to be let go. And good luck for the next 6 months. Now,
okay, John. Jade Helm. Jade, blue-green in color. Helm is the diminutive form of, or helmet is the diminutive form of helm. So blue-green helmet. What would that be, John? UN? Blue-green helmets?
Yeah, there's, it's like I say, it's kind of disgusting that we have America running exercises to crack down on its own citizens the same time that Russia this year is running about 4,000 exercises on attacking the United States and NATO.
Never re-elect anyone. These guys, every one of them, I think, has sold us out. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they claim. You know, Barry's claiming that his mission was to reduce combat, reduce the forces, stop the wars, build the economy, and he claims he's done it all. He claims he's done it all. Hillary Clinton, she's for the middle class. Really? I can't believe these people. They're pathological liars. We need to make sure that they are sidelined. We don't want them any way, shape, or form involved in our future. They've sold us out. Put them off to the side.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Youngevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today. Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com with Captain John Regan. A couple quick announcements. Just wanted to let you know that I will not be at the meetup tonight. I received a call last night after I arrived home from Indiana. From John Stadtmiller. And I'm going to be on the air with John Stadtmiller from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock Central Time this afternoon. So I'm going to be his guest, and we're going to be talking about some pretty serious things. I don't want to say exactly what it is at this point, but I will follow John Stadtmiller's lead. And I suggest that if you are interested in what's happening in alternative radio, you may want to tune in. And that's today, from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock Central Time on republicbroadcasting.org. I'm John Stadtmiller's guest. Janet Randall and I were just on the phone, and she will be starting tonight's meetup. And it's going to be a great meetup. It's wonderful to have friends who can take the lead and run the show. You know, it's how does that happen? Well, John Regan, when I can't be on the air, John Regan just steps right in. Janet Randall, John and Judy Dollarhide. It's wonderful to have, you know, the faculty of USA Prepares. It's a wonderful thing. And I am so blessed and so fortunate to be surrounded by so many wonderful individuals. And I thank you all. So tonight's meetup is the Blue Plague and Men in Black Dresses with Mike Wasson. And also John Gore is going to be talking about inside the police department. John Regan, you've got some very interesting topics for us at the financialstateoftheunion.com. By the way, if it sounds like I'm bummed out, class, I am. And you're going to learn why this afternoon at 4:00. I'm bummed out about the economy. I would love to say, you know what? There's great news. You know, we're going to survive. This is going to be awesome. But when I see people who are interested in chasing balls around, and they're interested in points and scores, and uniforms with animals on them, and they will spend their time chasing balls around a field, or watching other guys with short pants chase balls around a field or a court or a baseball diamond, and not pay attention to what's happening. And yet they want their children to be safe. So what they do is they get them identified in the system. They're willing to spend their time and money doing that, but they won't spend their time and money learning how to be independent and learning how to survive. It bumps me out. And you know what? I got to tell you, this is going to be darn near impossible, in my opinion, to fix. John Regan?
Well, I've got a special section today. It's called It's a Matter of National Security. Mm-hmm. Obama's been busy this past weekend. He got in his 224th round of golf. And unfortunately, he also got in his weekly radio address. And that's what this section starts talking about. And if you had this pulled up, you'll need to refresh, because I had to go in and the second link, full text, the White House had already moved it to another location. So I've corrected that link. But this weekend, Obama warns that climate change poses immediate risks to our national security. The quote is, "There's no greater threat than climate change, and that it poses immediate risks to our national security." And that means that it's not going to be long. You're going to see what all he's going to impose on us to take care of that. And when they say it's for national security, you know it's not good for your freedoms or your pocketbook.
Mm-hmm. However, John, the climate change really is the greatest threat to our security, meaning yours, mine, and everyone listening to this class. He's absolutely right about that, but it sounds to me like he's going to be using this to control us, and that's your concern, correct?
Yeah, he's not talking about the climate change that is being caused by natural forces. He's talking about calling carbon dioxide the enemy of the planet. And there is going to be more and more rules on that. And there's the third link is from Breitbart. You think global warming is bad?
Hold on.
Yes.
Just one second, John. So when Barry has one of these urges to go smack a little ball with a big club, does he just go out on the White House lawn and has a couple cans in the grass there, and they kind of mow it for him to keep the grass even so he can hit a few rounds? Or does he hop in a motorcade with like 15 SUVs, armed guards, with mini bazookas and drones and helicopters in tow, and then race out to an airplane like Air Force One with his entourage in tow, and then they all fly someplace, and then he ends up in another motorcade where he goes and smacks a little ball around at a golf course. And in order to do that, they kick everyone who would have been playing that day out of there, because that's a threat to national security should someone be angry at Barry and want to do some harm to him. So is that what you're talking about when he goes and plays golf, that he is creating carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, more than any of us would probably in our lifetime, just because he wants to go smack a little ball around?
Well, you see, you don't understand. His job is so important that you can't expect him to follow the rules that the rest of us have to live by.
Okay. I just want to make sure I understood. Okay.
Okay. Got that clear.
Yes.
So
this is disgusting, John. This is absolutely outrageous, over the top, disgusting, immoral, abusive, and out of control. Gosh.
Yeah.
You know, anyone who supports this regime, is not a friend of mine. Don't come to my farm. You're not welcome. If you support these thugs, don't come to my farm. You're not welcome. Okay, please continue.
The third link is a Breitbart article. Think global warming is bad. Wait until you meet sustainability, which is going to be the buzzword that's used over and over and over. You know, with the global warming issue, there's real standards that you can use to combat that and look and see how real it is. It's like many of the recording stations have been moved to another location that actually gets hotter, but they're using the old location as the baseline. You know, there's some pretty disgusting things being done in that. But with sustainability, there really isn't a good definition of it. It's pretty much anything they want to make it. And
didn't George Orwell talk about newspeak and the meanings of words being flipped, reversed, changed, so that, you know, we use the word as we think it's, you know, defined, and the government changes that definition to mean something completely different. So we use it thinking that we're talking about what they're talking about, but we're not.
Yeah. It's like when the government tried to take over the watershed there in the Ozarks, in the meeting that they were having, they talk about the stakeholders. Well, for those of us in the public, you think stakeholders would include the people that own property on the rivers, but no, it doesn't include property owners. It's government and businesses, big corporations. Those are the stakeholders.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
well, John, I'm not advocating this, but there's no doubt in my mind that the shooting's going to start. I don't know when, but there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to start. I mean, I can't believe what these people are doing. And then Homeland Security's buying 62 million more rounds of killer projectiles, you know, 5.56, 223. Homeland Security to use on us. And they say it's for training purposes. And at the same time, California says no lead, can't have lead in projectiles, right? So Homeland Security buys 62 million rounds. So the government says you can't pollute, and the government says, yeah, but we can. Meaning they can. They can do things that we can't do.
And the fourth article there, EPA tells kids to avoid baths and asks them to check toilets for leaks. So, and there's actually a link in there going to the EPA website where they're trying to get kids to take showers instead of baths because it uses less water. We've already talked about how they want to have hotels spy on how long people spend in the showers, and I believe that technology would end up in the home as well. And that's just, you know, what's on the surface. When we get back, there's some graphics at the bottom of today's post that talks about energy consumption, and we'll talk about a little bit about reality.
If you're wondering why I'm not saying anything, I'm numb. Absolutely numb. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Have you ever felt like the United States government knows way too much about your financial affairs? Like confiscation of stocks and bonds, it makes me wonder if the U.S. citizen will ever again have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unfortunately, with the Drug and Money Laundering Act, the IRS Revenue Ruling 6045 of 1984, and the Trading with the Enemy Act and Franklin D. Roosevelt's Executive Order of 1933, some precious metal holdings are subject to government intervention. For this reason, Midas Resources has prepared a report explaining the boundaries of trading precious metals privately. Whether if you have any intention of trading with Midas Resources or not, I have instructed my representatives to give this report out free. Call for your free copy at 1-800-686-2237. When investing, always proceed with caution. Again, call 1-800-686-2237. Exercise your legal right to trade metals privately. 1-800-686-2237.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you have been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
It's time to build your own emergency food stockpile with the industry leader, My Patriot Supply. Once you try them, you'll know why so many Americans like you have made them part of their emergency preparedness plan. Experience the My Patriot Supply difference today with this unbelievable offer. Right now, a 4-week food supply is only $99, and that includes free shipping. That's 50% off the online price. Call 800-274-3070 to claim yours. Limit 2 per caller while supplies last. This offer isn't available online, so you want to make sure and grab this opportunity to get prepared today. 800-274-3070 to get your 4-week food supply for the incredible price of only $99, and it'll be shipped to you completely free. Call 800-274-3070 right now. That's 800-274-3070 to claim yours while supplies last. Don't wait. Call today.
Captain John Regan's with us, the financial state of the union.com, the financial state of the union.com. We're at the news tab. John, you were talking about water, and the government is suggesting that children, they use the word kids. To me, the word is children. Kids are baby goats. So children, sons and daughters, the government wants us to not take baths. All right. Now, this is the same government that flies these endless, nonstop, 24/7 planes, destroying the atmosphere, littering the atmosphere with pollutants, laying down patterns of geoengineering to shift the climate to cause, in my opinion, droughts on the West Coast. So the water leaves the West Coast, ends up in other parts of the world. It ends up in Missouri, as well as the East Coast. And then the government says, yo, forget those baths. And they're going to teach young people not to take baths. Okay, so how's that going to work? Well, are we increasing the incidence of disease? I can't think of a single thing that the government has done right. Not one thing. Now, I do agree that if you have a leaky toilet, you ought to fix that. And there's a way to do that. I mean, if you have some of that red dye that's too valuable to throw away, but not valuable or and no good for food, you know, that food coloring that you shouldn't be using anyway, you can put a drop of that or two in the toilet tank, color the water red in the toilet tank, and then look to see if the toilet in the bowl turns red. And if it does, you have a leak with your flapper valve, and you might want to replace that. If you find that your toilet runs and then shuts off and then runs and shuts off and it hasn't been used, you have a leaky flapper valve, and you might want to fix that. And they're easy to do. You can buy a package of 3 of them for about $10 at, you know, a big box store. You can buy them on the internet. And if you want to reduce the water consumption, what you can do is, and what we've done here at our farm, is we've taken a brick. We just had a brick lying around and it just stand it vertically in the toilet tank, and it displaces the amount of water that a brick occupies. And so each flush flushes with 1 brick's worth of water not being used. So not quite a quart, but it does save some water, and you may want to do that. I suggest you consider doing that. The shower head that we use is a very low volume, high pressure shower head, and it sprays a mist, kind of like at a car wash. Very little water is used. But we've been doing that for years. And why? Well, we don't want to waste water. I mean, I'm not interested in wasting water. But if someone wants to take a bath, heck, why not? Why not? So we don't like heating hot water and wasting it. So we have, as a matter of fact, we don't have a bathtub hooked up in our house. We just have showers. But I did buy a Whirlpool tub because sometimes I have these aches and pains, and so does Mrs. Finelli, and I thought it'd be kind of neat to have a Whirlpool tub, so I bought a used one, and I have to install it. I paid $200 for it, and I'm going to put it in the house. But that's the only bathtub we have, but it's not hooked up. So what I'm saying is, yeah, I think you should conserve water. I really do. However, at the expense of not being clean, I got a problem with that. John Regan?
I think everybody that's been listening to us is familiar with the U.S. Debt Clock website. That's a dashboard that gives you an approximate, up-to-date figure for different areas of our financial condition. Well, oilprice.com has some similar widgets, and a couple of those deal with energy. And I've included 2 of them at the bottom of today's post. One is U.S. energy consumption, and one is world energy production. And again, we're dealing with some big numbers, and I'm going to do my best to simplify it. What you see listed is listed in billions of BTUs, and then the numbers get into the tens of millions. And we'll break that down after the break.
I think this is great. I think this is great information. I'm looking forward to it. John Regan, Captain John Regan, and I'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw of free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
I have bought a few bottles of Heart and Body Extract and have to say that it certainly does work.
That's what Jack from Michigan had to say after his experience with heart pain and what he did to treat it with Heart and Body Extract.
I actually had a huge heart flutter. I was also having some edema around my ankles and very worrisome clot in my right leg that would happen from time to time. I was trying to sleep.
Heart and Body Extract is all natural with no negative side effects. It will help repair or correct past problems associated with the heart and body circulation.
After my second bottle of Heart and Body Extract, all problems are now gone.
Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
I ordered a third bottle of Heart and Body Extract for maintenance as I want to keep everything working.
Order Heart and Body Extract at 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Captain John Regan's with us. John Regan, you're going to be talking about BTUs, or British Thermal Units, and that is a traditional unit of energy. It's the amount of energy needed to cool or heat 1 pound of water by 1 degree Fahrenheit. That's what a BTU is. And a wooden match, let's see, 1 4-inch wooden match completely consumed generates 1 BTU of energy. Back to you, John Regan.
Okay, and I do want to point out one other thing. You know how I run numbers. If you look at the detail on here, oil, gas, coal, and you add up all the individual items, the total on their widget doesn't match, and I've notified them about this. On the world energy production, where it's 144.2, I come up with 145.9. And for the United States, where they say it's 27.4, I've got 29.4. So there's a couple of million discrepancy between the detail and the totals. And for the percentages I'm getting ready to use, I've done it from my calculation, which matches to what the individual items are. And what I really want to point out here is the war on carbon dioxide is getting ready to heat up, more so than carbon dioxide heating up the atmosphere. The top 3 sources, oil, coal, and gas, is where most of our energy and therefore most of our business comes from. It doesn't matter if it's a production business with a factory or a service business where you've got people in an office with computers running, air conditioning, and all of that. When you look at it on a worldwide basis, 86.5% of energy comes from those 3 sources. In the United States, it's a little bit more, 87.3%. So we know they've already targeted coal, shutting down our power plants, saying that it's good for the environment. Unfortunately, China's building more and more, and I read a survey years ago where virtually every freshwater fish in America is contaminated with mercury, and it's not from the United States plants, it's from the Chinese plants. And of those 3, gas is the only one that can be used to work as a transition fuel, according to Chris Martenson. If you go into his crash course, he does a great discussion on that. The problem with oil is not that so much that we're running out of oil, it's that we're running out of oil that's easy to extract. So while just having oil, if it was just a matter of money to get it out of the ground, that would be one thing. But we have to deal with real life. It takes energy to get oil out of the ground. And in the early days, it would take basically the energy of a barrel of oil, and you'd get 100 barrels out of the ground. And that's declining, and it's getting that exponential curve down now, so that it's taking more and more energy to get that oil out of the ground. And there's nothing lined up to make up these huge amounts of energy. Worldwide, hydroelectric takes up almost 6.5%. In the United States, it's only 2.5%. Now, we've got a couple of problems. One is drought. You need water running to generate hydroelectric. And 2, if you flood a new area, and this might be different if you're talking about the desert, but there's usually not a lot of water in the desert. So where you're flooding, you're going to be flooding places that have fields and trees. And once you do the flooding of that area, that living material ends up decomposing and creating methane, which is even worse greenhouse gas. So there's problems trying to wrap up hydroelectric. Nuclear is a big one, just over 5% worldwide and 7.8% for the United States. We already know that nuclear has problems. There's also the issue that they're running out of uranium. So that even if you wanted to build more and more plants, you'd have a problem of how do you get the material for the reaction. There's some discussion about using thorium, but despite what some people say, thorium has its own problems. Wind is, talked about as a big resource, but that's both in the United States and worldwide, that's only 1.2% of energy. And then that's also not very friendly to birds. If you like killing birds, wind is a great way of doing that. And then we've got biofuels. And this is minuscule. It's 0.5% worldwide, 1% in the United States. And this is things like alcohol and biodiesel. So these still contribute to carbon dioxide. They're considered somewhat neutral since you're growing the plants to create the biofuels to begin with. But again, to try and ramp that up to cover something that's much, much larger would be very difficult to do. Solar is talked about a lot, but worldwide, that's only 0.2%. And in the United States, it's only 0.1% of production. And it has problems because with the technologies we have now, you end up generating a lot of pollution during the construction process. You've got limited life of the solar panels, and it tends to use some rare earth materials and things like silver that just limits what you can do solar-wise. I don't know if they include things like that big plant where they've got all those mirrors that create molten salt, but those have problems too, because when you have birds fly over those types of plants, they get instantly cooked. And then geothermal is at the bottom of the list. It's 0.1% worldwide, 0.1% in the United States. And that's our total energy pool. So when you look at those considered friendly sources, wind, biofuels, solar, and geothermal, worldwide, that's only 2% of energy. And for the United States, it's only 2.4%. We can't sustain our economy with those four sources of energy. And to force a cutback or impose a tax to encourage people to cut back would be just totally devastating for our economy. And that's where I wanted to give you these resources so that you can point this out to where, yeah, it sounds good, let's switch to a renewable source. Yeah, but we just can't do that to reclaim that amount, nor can we do it overnight. Vincent?
John, I was at the RK Prepper show, of course, over the weekend. I'd mentioned that. And there was a man there who was demonstrating foam insulation. He was saying, this is really cool stuff. And I said, you're absolutely right. It really is. It's a wonderful insulation material. And I said that, I'd be really interested in this, except I've already done it. And our house is insulated with this closed cell foam. And he was all excited about it. And I said, as a matter of fact, our farmhouse has this foam, and our utility bill is about $84 a month. And we run our entire farm on $84 a month. Let's say around $100 monthly electric bill. That's for the farm. That's the broadcast. That's all the computers that I run, the lighting, the compressors, the well, okay, the washing machine, the refrigerators, the freezer, all that. About $100 a month. And he was like, wow, that's unbelievable. And then I told him the size of the house, and then he couldn't believe it. Then he was absolutely stunned. And I said, no, what you're talking about absolutely works. Now, here's why it works for us. And it relates to exactly what you're saying, John. What we've done is we have reduced our consumption to a great degree. Now, can we reduce it more? Yes, we can. We have two freezers, and they're pretty efficient. We have a refrigerator. It's pretty efficient. We have LED lighting that I built out of strips, which uses very little electricity. We have fluorescent lighting, which uses, very little electricity. It's pretty efficient. We don't heat our house to where it's a sauna, and we don't cool our house in the summer to where it's cold. We're very cognizant of what energy costs and the consumption of energy. What I found out is we are somewhat the minority in terms of reducing energy costs. There are a lot of people who are just not paying attention. They're leaving lights on, which, it's just a flagrant abuse of energy. Just why leave lights on if you're not in that room, right? They will cool their house and they'll say, I really like it 68 degrees in the summer. I really like it 72, 73, 74, 75 in the winter. What we really need to do, John, is reduce our consumption. Now, one of the things that we have done here at the farmhouse is we have a dryer, an electric clothes dryer. We brought it from Virginia, but we haven't hooked it up. It hasn't been hooked up ever. It's going on 10 years now. 10 years without a clothes dryer. Can you do it? Absolutely. And has anyone ever said, hey, Finelli, you're a wrinkled mess. Don't you? Why do you look so wrinkled? Well, I don't. And we do it all without a clothes dryer. And you can too. And your clothes will last longer. So that's one great place to start. It really is. And there are a whole bunch of others. So the bottom line is less energy. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
Improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. It really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Captain John Regan's with us. Class, we've got to meet up tonight at Jimmy's Egg. We'll be talking about the blue plague and the men in black dresses. And I'll be on the air. I won't be at the meetup tonight. I was asked to join John Stadtmiller, so I'll be on the air with him as his guest from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock this afternoon. And if you'd like to tune in, that's republicbroadcasting.org. I will be John Stadtmiller's guest. John Regan's with us, and John, we're talking about water, and gee whiz, I'm looking at some of the posts. Man, oh man. Please continue.
With the time we have left, let's do the last two under big picture. Laws are for peons and water solution, ?
Yeah.
The first one, Hillary Clinton parks the Scooby van in a handicap spot on the campaign trail.
Outrageous.
And well,
Outrageous.
I'm not so sure. She might have a handicap, and the placard might be because she's morally handicapped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's two sets of rules, one for us and one for them. I never park in a handicapped spot. I think it's immoral if someone is not handicapped and parks in a handicapped spot. It's absolutely immoral.
And this last one, this is a great article to keep track of because it actually covers a couple of things. One, we've talked about the problem with the drought in California and how about the only solution they're going to have besides migrating the people is putting in desalination plants. And the problem there is that these plants require energy. Most of that energy is going to be the fossil fuel energy. And that's going to create more carbon dioxide. It makes for more expensive water. And then once you take the salt out, they dump the salt back into the ocean, which increases the salinity, which is bad for the local sea life. Further down in the article, it really points out to something else we covered before, is the Bill Gates TED conference, where he comes up with the formula carbon dioxide equals people times services per person times energy per service times carbon dioxide per energy unit. And he says the only way to get carbon dioxide to zero is that one of those numbers is going to have to get pretty close to zero. So you either have to take away all the services per person, don't let the people use any energy, find a source that doesn't use carbon dioxide, which we've showed is a problem in itself. So the only one of those four components that they can take down to zero is people. And it also goes into the quote that he says that now if we do a really good job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower the increase in population by perhaps 10 or 15%. And
let's start with Bill Gates.
There's a link to an article that this person wrote on this back in 2010. And if you go to that article, it has a link for the video. So if you want to see Bill Gates actually say it, so you're not just going by a blog post, you have that resource there for you and anybody else that you might want to try to wake up.
John Regan, in California, wells are going dry, water wells, and looks like there's more than 1,000 water wells that have failed recently. And farmers are spending, now these wells, to find water, they're going down 1,800 feet. 1,800 feet. Now, I can tell you that a column of water about 500 feet, a pipe, a well pipe with water in it, a stack of water, if the pump's at the bottom of the well, the water column to get to ground, up to ground level, weighs about 800 pounds for a 500-foot well. That requires a pretty substantial pump. Now, let's take that down to 1,800 feet. That's a really substantial pump. How much does it cost? Well, a well pump for a private well, we're looking at $45,000. $45,000. This would be a 450-foot well in California. If you want a commercial well for agricultural purposes, $250,000 to $750,000. Getting close to $1 million for a water well. We're in deep trouble. John Regan, thanks so much for being with us, class. Above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal service.